Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of our 4th Age Total War Rohan No Deaths run, where the goal is to complete our objectives without allowing any other factions on the map to become eliminated. And we have Harad fairly on the ropes here, I would say. In the last episode we conquered Umbar city from them, which is a substantial get. And they are sort of reeling from our conquests in their heartlands. We've gifted some territory to Far Harad, who is now being gobbled up by Khand. So we'll have to make sure that they don't get too damaged here. But really, there is one large army here of Harads, and they've got certainly the ability to produce a lot more units. And what we're kind of doing now is playing keep away. We've got this large army, and we've got my army of not too excellent units. One option that we could do here is take Karis Nan from them if we get lucky, and that's the reason I'm not going to do it, because it's going to require some luck on our part for these guys not to just withdraw back into the city as soon as we attack, and then we're stuck near the city. So obviously we could attack this host. The city shows up as reinforcements. If we defeat them both on the field of battle, we get the city and can march in. The problem is if we don't, we're left vulnerable. So given that this army has a fairly limited marching radius, I'm going to move over here, and I think that should be fine. Maybe we'll take this on later, but maybe this army will go somewhere else. If we cruise around the settlements, the hot spots we can keep an eye on, we've got some interesting stuff happening around Rovanian, where Umbar has expanded into the north as usual up around Mid-Deeping. But we can see that Rovanian is besieging their fort, or camp as they're called in the mod, to distinguish them from the permanent forts that are actually placed as quasi-settlements. But they've got a little siege going on here, which is interesting. It looks like Umbar is trying to take back the stronghold of Kirith Gorgor, and I actually am wishing them well, because in the south, the Reunited Kingdom is doing pretty well, and in the north they're doing pretty well too. They haven't lost anything. They've got a Numinas, Bree, Amon Sul, and they're closing in on Fornost. They've got Turn for Vane, Arundel Soth. Tharbad is also doing well up around here, and I think for that reason I'm going to hold off expanding at their expense. I would actually like Tharbad to get stronger up around here and be a defense against the Reunited Kingdom, because we really don't want them to turn on us. So with those armies moved, we're just going to end the turn. We do have to keep an eye on the Dorwinian situation. They've got, I think, 4 more seasons left, or they will, at the end of this turn, before those sieges run out. Alright, we have a suitable husband from the House of Aorl, which is pretty cool. He's only got the bonuses there, and he's youthful. He's a patron of the West. He's intelligent. He's a reckless fighter, but, you know, I'm going to take him. Alright, he is at our capital, the outpost of Dol Baran, which I keep forgetting has a bunch of guys, or a couple of family members here. So we'll probably take these guys out and put them with an army. One of our projects is to come to some sort of arrangement with Dunland. On the one hand, it would be nice to you know, conquer these settlements from them and establish something of a link to the north. On the other hand, we don't want to accidentally eliminate them, so we just have to watch out for that. Alright, just retraining stuff. We've got some more spies. We've got 3 ways finished in terms of its fiefdom dominion. And we could retrain all of these peasants at arms. I gotta remember that I have them, because we can use them for garrison duty, and that might be kind of useful. So we've got Northgard Fort under siege from Tharbad, and we'll just kind of keep punching them to get them off our back. But I don't know that I really want to spend time on fighting battles against these Ariador spearmen, so we'll just keep doing this. Training mercenaries. And if we get really annoyed, we can go grab one of their settlements. But yeah, look at the Reunited Kingdom here. They're really moving. And that could be bad for us, because if they actually take a bunch of this territory from Tharbad, then they're going to be, you know, supreme in the north. They may turn on us, but really more of a concern is that they wipe out the Shire faction if they've got no one else around to fight. I'm not sure who they'd go after first, you know, me or the Shire. It's just an unfortunate reality of some of the AI of Rome Total War. It was not programmed for these kind of permanent alliances. Even the three Roman factions, of course, are programmed to eventually have a civil war mechanic. But this mod does a really good job of delaying that as much as is possible within the engine limitations. So we've got to figure out how we're going to move around here. We've got these guys. I think we were heading them back to get retrained, just by the looks of this force. And we've just got some very light mercs in there. Here we could hit Duncrioch and see if anything comes out to join them. This is a good settlement to take. They do have a noble there, but you know they've also got enough territory to the west that I think we would not eliminate them if we took these couple of cities. Okay, so right to our left, we've got Lieutenant Alka with some light troops, a couple of cav units. Those are the things I'm most worried about in that stack. The army that is in the city, the reinforcements, are just a noble. He's on foot at least, so that'll be good, but I'm worried that these cav are going to get away from us. And the army that we're actually attacking has no cav. So, it would be nice to take Duncrioch and see if we can hold it, because we do have troops in the region. I honestly can't remember if we've taken it already in this series. We may have. But this time, we've got our capital right next door, and it shouldn't be too hard to hold, I would think. Okay, these are our Javelin Riders, and we do have just a ton of lances. We've got a single unit of mounted archers who's not going to be that useful, simply because he's not connected with a larger force, so I'm not going to be putting him in a separate group, you know what I mean? Right, these light guys, or kind of beat up guys, they can hang back with a general. And we'll put these guys here and these guys over here. And this is just some axes of the mark. So, I'm not sure how this is going to go. We've got the city straight ahead on top of a hill, probably, and a force coming from our left.
The enemy have brought up reinforcements in a pathetic attempt to save themselves.
Let's see if it looks like they're withdrawing. We'll just head straight up. They may be intimidated by this and just withdraw from the battlefield. So we have to be a little careful, because what we don't want to do is lose a bunch of guys and then gain nothing. If they're just going to withdraw anyway, I'd prefer to take no losses while that happens, or as close to no losses as we can get. But part of getting the city will mean having to defeat all of these forces. So let's start getting the Lancers over. We'll get these guys all off skirmish. All right, we're getting whittled down as their cavalry retreats. Let's get our cavalry, the Lancers, out behind. We'll keep slowly marching up our main body.
Press forward so the spirit of his army is broken too.
All right, this is Huntsmen and Horsemen. These guys can come back. All right, so there's the Chieftain's Guardsman unit. We'll just leave these Lancers over here and kind of forget about it. The Tribal Spearmen are going to get us. Got some axemen right there. Let's pull down and all right. Really want to get these horsemen out of the way. Alright, we're going to take some javelins in a minute here. These axemen are also taking some javelins, but actually I'll just let them stand there and take it, because it's going to be better that the AI uses its ammo on those guys. Alright, we're doing pretty good here at catching these cav. I think this is all of the riders in the enemy host, and we're now behind them with our lancers, who are fresh and ready to charge in. Alright. Because I grouped all of these guys together. It's going to be a little tricky to separate them out, but let's see what we can do. And you can go over here. Okay, what we want to do is hit... Oh, man, that's Tribal Spearman. Alright, let's get him anyway. Charge him from both sides here. Let's get a big route going. We'll just tie up the Chieftain's Guard unit. There they go. And those are just huntsmen. So our light cav can deal with all of them. And let's get the Riders of the Mark and the Riders of the King's House down here. They've routed our tribals, or Axes of the Mark. But now we've got the high ground to charge down. Alright, we've got so many of them. Okay, these guys are now separate for the most part, so we'll get them all together. Let's get the Chieftain's Guard. Okay, there's some cav there. Only 16, but we'll still put the cav on them. There's some axemen coming back. 27. Alright, let's charge in with some lancers and see how much of a difference that makes. It should be plenty. Let's not lose our general if we can help it, but we have plenty of generals around here. Down to 18, wavering. This should be it. Now here come the axemen. Yeah, we'll continue this battle. Alright, somewhere in there he went down. And I guess these guys were not given a sprint order. But at any rate, that should be all of the forces, because I think we got all three of the captains. And should allow us to take Dunkreok. There is a larger army in the area. At least one. Captain. Which is this, which is like about half a stack, so it's not that huge. Alright, only 433 population. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we gave this the slash and burn treatment in previous episodes, so let's just occupy it this time, lower the taxes, and this time, you know, I think we can attempt to hold it. We can train a scout, but I think an emissary might be better around here, because we already have 2 scouts. Let's see then if they come back with another force to try to reconquer this. I don't think they have much in the area. I mean, this force is pretty large and annoying because of all the cav. But if they assault me in the city, I mean, I have a lot of cav too. Captain. All right, I think I can train all of these guys in the Hornburg. So let's get them there this turn. And yeah, let's get them all trained up. Okay, so we'll retrain all of them. We won't have enough room to train another unit, but we'll get these guys in here. Between that and the family members, I think we'll be able to hold the fort if they take this or besiege this. But we do need to get these guys moving up onto the west. Elsewhere in the south, we were not attacked, although this army is really interested in us. So, what do we want? We don't have room to just keep these armies in the cities, so we need to threaten them somewhere else. Yes, master. Moving. it's going to be hard to threaten them, I feel like, because they don't have a lot of vulnerable cities. So this is actually a mostly infantry force. I'm thinking we could take these guys. This is the Lord of Fold. So that means Edoras, right? He's basically the governor of Edoras. So let's do a mix and match. I'll take a couple of minutes and get these guys organized. Okay, so here's what we've got here. I took out basically the cav that I thought would be useful in the field. So pretty much any horse archer that was of substantial strength. We've got some other cav, and I've sort of consolidated some stuff. We've also brought out a bit of infantry, some Southron spears, Swarting skirmishers, shields of the mark, and we've got axes of the mark, 4 archers. Inside the city, it's mostly infantry, with a few cavalry odds and ends. So I think between the two of these, we'd be in a pretty decent position. We can, of course, bring these guys back into the city to get retrained, at least the mercenaries. And we're working on the Outland Dominion here. So we'll see how this works out. I did get a scout over to Umbar, and it looks like there's not a lot this way, which is really good news. So we could either take that or just kind of leave it for now. I'll leave the army, let's see. It might actually be good to set them up on this hill. I think this will be a decent battlefield. So if they attack us, which I suspect they will, we'll be in a position there to hopefully deal with it. But I am alarmingly noticing these full stacks of rune, clearly aimed at me, or at least the vicinity. We've got a couple of stacks down here. We've got one here that's just ignoring the dwarves. Let's check that diplomacy again. They are at war with the dwarves in Dale and nobody else. They're allied with Dorwinion and they're allied with Khand, both of whom are factions that I'm either at war with or feeling hostile toward. And Khand, you know, is attacking my ally, Farharad. So clearly Rune is aligned against us, and holy crap, they've got an army right there. All right. So this is not good. So here's what I'm going to do. We just queued up this building. So I'm going to just unqueue that so we've got more money in the treasury. And we're going to go to Dorwinion. They've got an emissary right here. And we'll just we'll take one of our guys who is right here. We'll bring him over and see how they feel about a protectorate. We're going to offer them everything we have, which is over 120,000, and they're not interested in that. So hopefully Rune is not just going to attack us and try to defend their ally. If they do, I mean, honestly, part of me would think that is pretty cool. So I'm not gonna feel too badly if that happens. Obviously, it'll be very alarming and all that. And we've got North Rune right here too. So we may need to pull these guys back and just let Dorwinion be. You know, protectorate for them. I think they are at war with just me and the Reunited Kingdom, so they probably wouldn't get wiped out. We'll give it another turn and see what these armies do. But this is just garbage, honestly, looking at this. It's a ton of peasants at arms. It's making up the bulk of the stack, and the other stuff is sort of a light mix. There's some decent things, but I think we'd be able to deal with it within a couple of turns with, you know, the army that's besieging Rathwin, let's say. Okay, so that's sort of settled in my mind at any rate. And I think everything else, we'll just wait to see. Alright, we're under siege in Dunkreok. That's that big army. And so we've got some friends coming from the Hornburg. We can go and take out Lieutenant Faba. And I think inside the Hornburg we'll just leave these Dunlanding mercenaries as a garrison. We're not, you know, clearly, you know, retraining them. But we don't need either of these guys inside the outpost of Dol Baran. That's a much more respectable looking stack. We can get another unit of mercs. It's still showing coins for some reason, indicating I can hire something. So we'll hit them next season, and then I think we'll be plenty strong enough to move up here and deal with them if we can play smart with our cav and our archers, because again they've got a lot of cavalry there. I'd rather not have the army show up as reinforcements of the garrison there. All right, Dale and North Rune. Dale attacked North Rune. How did they do that? Oh, because of the dwarves, I guess. But we've just got some weird borders up here where Dale is in the Iron Hills and okay. And so the other one is the other fort. Ah, they're going to stand and fight. How annoying. All right, this is their ruler and a noble. All right, I really don't want to have to kill these guys. But I don't think we will. I mean, you know, in terms of the eliminating the faction, obviously they've got an heir somewhere, and they've got enough settlements that they've probably got quite a few family members. So we'll just kind of march up.
Have arrived, but are they in time to take part in the battle?
Unfortunately, I think we probably will have to kill the ruler because, I mean, he's just not going to withdraw. Maybe the sight of these 49 bowmen of Rohan will make him flee in terror. Alright. I think they're going away now. Good. Go away. Alright, they made their own little camp right here, too. And, you know, if we were sort of playing a normal campaign, in which we didn't so much care about the fortunes of the faction's survival, we might be pressing this a little bit more. But this is all territory that I don't really need to have, except to sort of keep an eye on things in the north. I may have done my work, though. Like I'm of course sort of thinking that we could lose all of this, and if it went back to Tharbad, I would be okay with it, because then they would be pressuring the Reunited Kingdom. And as long as Tharbad didn't get too out of hand, we could sort of hold off. Now, we've got some unrest here in 3 ways, which is, I'm thinking, due to a spy. Oh, no, it's this. Oh, no, yeah, 70%. That seems awfully high to me. Let's see what the unrest level is in, like, Sarnford. 45 up from 50. I think there's a spy in here. There's not much to be done about it, though. The garrison is already providing 80% public order, which is the maximum, so we can't get any more public order out of stuffing more bodies in here. The only thing we can do is hope that this spy gets kicked out, and we can train our own, actually. So let's get this guy up here. He's actually got a decent subterfuge. It's 4. Some of that is because he's got a network established. That means he's been inside a settlement. But he's going to retain that because he's not going to be out of the settlement. He's going to be going right into 3 ways, and so he'll keep a hold of that. So, you know, hopefully this doesn't revolt, but I think we bought it anyway, right? Like, we got this out of, as some diplomatic thing. So if Tharbad takes this back, you know, I'd be kind of all right with it. Let's see what happened to the Rune armies. Oh my gosh, this is just intimidating. 3 seasons left for both of these. And here's their emissary. So they're still around. We're up to 125, but I think that's where we were when we asked for peace with them before. Fortunately, at least they're attacking the dwarves again, and hopefully they're going to lose it. It's hard to tell just how many dwarves are in the settlement. We can't really see the size of the banner too well. I mean, I know there's like 10 units here, but those could be like tiny. They could be all dwarven Wayne bows or something, right? So it could be a very ineffectual force in reality. We were not attacked up here around Umbar City, so I'm thinking we may have to wait for them to besiege and then come and hit them with our field army, which would be okay with me, really. We'd get these reinforcements, which we could control. I think that's how it would work. Geez, I should probably get going on Outland Dominion. How much are we making? Okay, we're only making like 4 grand. Let's see, are we building anything like that anywhere else? No, because we didn't. We just completed it in 3 ways, actually. But, you know, I think that's all right. Because Umbar is fine in terms of public order for now. And the North Ruin Army did not attack us, so we didn't have to complicate matters any further. So we just have to not forget for that army, for those armies that are besieging Dorwinion. Alright, this is a pretty conky little army here. They're like half our strength. Let's see what they've got. Yeah, some Spearmen of the Serpent. That's not, you know, it's fine. They've got this guy, Scarlet Shields, which has probably given them a lot of confidence. And I can see why. That's a, you know, it's a very good unit. They've also got some of their archers, which are at tier 3. So decent stuff, but just not enough, I think, to really threaten us. The biggest danger is that this is going to weaken us for the fight to come, where we have to save Umbar. Okay, we've got 1 unit of these skirmishers. We got to protect them because this is, well, it's not super important. We do have a family member here to provide fear. These are the only 2 fear-causing units, these skirmishers and my bodyguard. So since we're being attacked, this is a pretty straightforward hillside defense, I would think. Let's get our bowmen like up here. They're going to be pretty much down there. They're going to try to outflank us, you know. It's going to be that kind of thing. We'll have like our strike melee cav here. Our ranged guys over here. General in the back. And our infantry can, I guess... Oh, this is not a really good formation, is it? Alright, right about there should be good. Alright, they do have archers reloading here. Alright, I was thinking we could get them to march away. I am going to charge in with my light cav, and then we'll flank with these guys, because I think our horse archers are stronger than the step out riders in terms of their melee attack and stuff. Alright, so they are coming right along, aren't they? Let's pull back. We don't want to get caught by the bodyguard here. They get 2 swords units, but they are getting beaten up a little bit. I want to hit these swords before they get any ideas. These guys can just charge right uphill, as far as I'm concerned. Alright, swords are attacking my horse archers. I think we'll be just fine to hit them. Alright, let's see. We'll get the axes charging. Okay, I didn't pay attention here. We got caught. Let's get the footmen, and let's get these guys and charge down into the back. The Scarlet Shields. We are taking some damage here because we're using our melee cav and lancers as sort of a backstop, which is of course not ideal, but our general's going to hit them, and victory. Alright, we'll pull you away and let the archers do their work on the last few routers. All right, let's see how badly we did in terms of men left over. Not too bad at all. I'd say we lost 61, I guess. Okay, Harondor is attacking Khand. Awesome, I think. Yeah, because Harondor hasn't really done anything. Of course, if you're playing the Reunited Kingdom, Harondor is going to go straight for Emmet Arden and try to ruin your day. But when you're not playing the Reunited Kingdom, Harondor is just content to sit around and, you know, just occupy its land peacefully. But here, finally, after like 40 turns or so, they are doing something. They are attacking and that's gonna make life hard for Khand, and potentially for Harad, because Harondor is stronger than Harad at this point, I would say. Harad does have these two settlements, but that's it in terms of over to the east. And they've got these two coastal ones, and they've got Umbar. Now this one could be pretty strong, and they can certainly train a lot out of these, and they don't need high, development tiers to train some very intimidating, frightening units. But I think Harondor would come out on top. So here I'm sort of debating, do I want to attack this army? One thing that I'm sort of briefly considering is I could like besiege one of these forts or another city and maybe draw the big army over. The thing I'm worried that would happen though is that I would just get attacked by all these other forces and the big army would keep besieging Umbar City. So I may as well attack him now. And I think I'll use all the units that are here. It would be nice in theory to get that other unit of mercenaries in on this, but let's just do that. They're going to stick around and fight, and it's a 1-to-1. And, you know, the general here, or the captain, is going to be Haradwaith Riders, so it's their lighter cav, not the tough lancers. But on the other hand, that just means these guys are going to be in the fray even quicker. It's the captain of the AI tends to hang back a little bit. And so, you know, there's a good mix of stuff. It looks like 4 sword units. Not a single long... Okay, they've got 1 long-range archer. And then they've got their 4 units of cav. And then they got a lot of spears. So we will have to be somewhat careful about it. But I think with our numbers we should be okay as long as we get those reinforcements properly. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work, if the game is going to allow me to bring them out. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've had, like, big reinforcements. Alright, here's the Shields of the Mark. We'll get them all ready. And I guess we're going to want these guys sort of on either side, right? There's not really much point in maintaining a super strong line. Do like that, I guess. We'll do a very similar deployment to what we did in the last battle. This guy, right. Got the Lancers over here and everything like so. Now we are attacking, so the land... Let's see, they're going to be probably right up here. Okay.
Reinforcements have arrived, but are they in time to take part in the battle?
Yeah, the other thing I can't remember about how the mercenaries work is, are they going to be under my control? I mean, they're here. Are they going to emerge? But I guess they're not going to be under my control, right? Because they're not showing up down here, so I can't actually control them. Okay. Waiting to enter battle. So are they just not gonna show up until we take losses? Is this how this works? If we've got like certain numbers like, we've got a full stack, so we can't have another force show up. That's... Okay, so it's only when the AI army is commanded by a general, like a family member? Is that when they show up to battle? I mean, like, I once knew all of this stuff, but I'm losing it. Okay, yeah, it looks like they're going to be completely out of the fight. So we'll turn away from them just so as not to murder our frame rate as much as possible. Alright, now we've got to get... There we go. Okay, what are these guys doing? Swords of Harad and Spearman of the Serpent. Let's charge all of those swords. And then if we can, kind of get out of here. The advantage of this army is, yeah, look how fast they routed, because it's not a family member leading them. So back out. We're getting caught a little bit, but I think we'll be getting out of there just fine. And here's Corsairs attacking my spearmen. Let's hit them with the axes. They're isolated enough that we should probably be okay. If we can get these guys at an angle, which I think we can because they're going to be engaged with my own men, that'll be good. See how that's going. Yep. Awesome. And that, you know, in a normal fight, if there's a general in this army, I do not think they would be... Right, what are we getting here? We're getting some axemen on accident. And some spearmen. Let's quickly get out of here. Quickly. Get away from the Umbar guard. Alright, we're going to lose this guy. He's, is he actually killing anything? No, not yet. He's going to go down at some point, though. Horsemen of the Harnan charging in. Alright, let's pull back here. These Corsairs of Umbar are steady. What's this? Footmen of Harad. Of course, they're routing. And we've got horse archers facing some swords, but it's very few. So I think we'll be okay just to play keep away like that. We've got a lot of Riders of Rohan. Oh my gosh, come on. Get away from those Umbar guard. Alright, let's bring these guys up. Take out those swords. And the Umbar guard, we can focus fire on them. It would be nice to take them out. Spearmen are pursuing these cav. What are you doing? Very brave Southron mercenary spears. Looks like the body of their army is trying to withdraw. Yeah, they're winning easily. I mean, of course they are. They're an elite spear unit, but I was kind of hoping that with all the winning that we've been doing elsewhere on the battlefield, that'd be enough to get them off of our back. Let's pull away. We're just not doing enough damage. Here, though, I think we're going to do better. Those Corsairs are doing fantastic. They only just broke now. Okay, we've got the unit that can actually deal with these guys. It's the Mercenary Swarting Skirmishers. This is what they're going to do. They're going to scare the Umbar guard. They're going to get into melee with them. And allow our cavalry to charge from a better angle. Alright, I don't think we have any arrows left in these bowmen, unfortunately. Alright, there's 31 of them left. They are shaken. I think they're going to be routing. Oh yeah, look how fast we're cutting them down with arrows now. Wavering, here comes the cav. There they go. And that's now a unit that that they can't really train anymore because it's in Umbar. All right, clear victory. We didn't do too badly, you know, shy of 200 losses for a pretty big fight where we're on the attack. I was expecting the reinforcements, but I should have known better that that they're just not going to appear in that kind of battle. But you know, we can't just assume that that was the end of it. There's at least 4 cities of Harad in the area that can resupply and get more stuff. So I'm going to take another moment to reorganize this army just to make sure it's got the best field force we can muster. Okay, with that settled, we're seeing again some really unpleasant things. I'm thinking that Rune is probably not going to attack me on territory that does not belong to them. Especially since that doesn't even border any of their own lands. So I'm thinking that as long as, you know, they don't take this, we're going to be okay for a little while. But I guess we can see how that's going to work. We've got 2 more seasons. Oh, that's right. We were going to deal with that, and I just completely forgot. Let's get this army up here, and let's just pause. We'll just put a halt to that. We're going to need to defend Dunkriok. The elves want trade. And yeah, we are bordering them just barely at Mythland with Sarnford. So we do have the option of asking for some money here. I'm just going to ask for 1,000. All right, they'll give 540. That's fine. Okay, we were not attacked by Rune. We do have a couple of sieges going on in Tharbad, and I think they're moving around, trying to sort of box us in. But just keep this up. I'm not sure if they're... I'm going to wait, because I think they've got an army here that's a little annoying and should be in a position to reinforce. So we'll just get them next season if they don't move. Alright, so where is this? Yeah, we did get that spy. I assume it was a spy, not an assassin. Let's take a look at the public order penalty from Unrest. Yeah, it's down to 40. That's what it should be. Okay, and yeah, Reunited Kingdom has taken Fornost, and that means that that Adunabar is basically confined to Angmar, the northern hold over here, and they probably have Mount Graham as well. But it's just those 3. Now, since we're at war with Tharbad, the Reunited Kingdom should be at war with Tharbad. And they are. So that may be their next move, to wipe out Tharbad from the north. I guess we'll see how it goes. You know, I could theoretically give Tharbad all of this stuff back. And so maybe if the Reunited Kingdom starts taking a couple settlements off of them, that's what I'll do, just to keep the balance of power maintained up there, so that I don't end up fighting the Reunited Kingdom sooner than I have to. But we should look at our victory conditions too, because we need to get 40 provinces. We have 17, so we're still quite a ways away. And let's see, we don't have any mercenaries we can recruit right now. I guess we could hit this army. It feels like a bit of a shame, because I just want to send it up to Dunhold. And so, you know, maybe that's what I'll do. We've got a decent army inside Dunkriok. It's a lot of cav, but then they have a lot of cav. They do have a lot of javelins. What are the walls like? Okay, they're this kind of stockade. If I had more archers, that would be really nice. But I don't. I've only got a very few infantry and a bunch of light lancers. But the thing is, their cavalry is going to be coming in fairly predictable ways. You know, they're not going to be... We're not going to be doing any fighting for towers and stuff, right? They're going to grab towers, that's fine. But it's going to be just gross cavalry fights in the streets. So I'm just going to ignore it for now. I'm going to move on, go threaten Dunland, and maybe they'll come and attack me there in the field, which I would actually prefer. Okay, down here we did retrain some stuff. I really want to keep these Rohan Riders up to snuff because we can train them around here. So I think it's important to do that. Otherwise, though, there's no big armies. I think we'll just keep hanging out. I don't want Harad to get too beaten down. One thing I can do is grab some of their settlements, their forts rather, that are near Umbar. That'll help me a little bit with trade. And they failed to take Nereg Zagil, which is more great news. But now this is the point where we absolutely have to get a protectorate from them or end the sieges and start all over again. Oh, jeez, so frustrating. All right, so how about this? Is Rune allied with Drowinian? Yeah, they are. So I'm just going to pull away. I'm going to get my armies back to home territory. Because what could happen here is they've only got 2 settlements. These guys could die out, and that would be game over on the sort of the challenge that I'm setting for myself. So now that we know that their protectorate price is going to be stupidly high, you know, I'm thinking just forget about it. We'll keep them there. It's good for them to have 2 settlements. I don't think they're going to trouble us. We're not at war, or we are at war with North Rune, but it's a cold war. We're just maintaining the balance up here. Maybe what we can do, because we're going to be fighting with Rune pretty quickly, is focus on them. Okay, we do have an ambush going. So they knew I was heading up towards Dunland. Oh, geez, I forgot to set up. What a waste. I think, isn't a regular battle, doesn't it say something a little bit different? Alright, you know what? Withdraw. Just forget this. Yeah, just everybody get out of here. I'm not going to bother with this. Fighting Dunlandings in the trees. We're going to lose, actually, quite a bit. To just, like, their javelins and stuff, but... yeah, it's just a tiny ambush force. They didn't really want to fight anyway. This way we'll keep our army mostly intact. And I'm curious as to where we're going to go. Probably right back to our border at Dunkriok. Okay, we didn't actually go anywhere. That's because we triggered the withdrawal. So, okay, anyway. Let's see. We're going to ignore that. We don't want the Bjornings on our case. Rovanian's acting awful suspicious. Yeah, ignoring that too. You know, we do share borders with them. We could make a little money, but I'm rejecting trade rights because I have this theory that they might make the AI attack you. It seems like if you deny, they sort of hold off, like they don't know what to do. But then once you give them trade rights, they seem to attack pretty quickly thereafter. This is anecdotal. I have not really run any significant tests. This is very, very ominous. Are they at war with Rovanian? No. So they're just getting ready. Rune is, and it's just very disturbing. All right, we've got armies. We've got big armies. So we got to start coming up with another plan. If we're not going to make Dorwinian our protectorate, which really wasn't going to help all that much anyway, then we've got to figure out what we're going to do with these forces that we have in Dorwinian. They're not the best, but they're large enough to have an impact. We could start taking some territory, and we have to do that. You know, the obvious thing would be to attack, you know, wait for someone to attack us and then start taking their territory. I don't want to take land from North Rune necessarily, although this would be a safe one to take, Garth. We are at war. I could take this, and there's still there would still be a buffer between me and Rune to the east. So that might be the next move. Rune otherwise does have a lot of ground over here, but this would be an easy one to take. And this army, I'm not sure how strong it is, but I think with the forces that we have, we could put something together that could deal with it fairly effectively. All right, since we're doing that, let's go ahead and spend a bit of money on Outland Dominion here. Harad is showing no signs of interest in putting forces together to face us. So maybe once some of these guys either group up into a larger force or move off, I can start taking some of these little fortresses. Maybe I would take Umbar and then like leave them, I don't know, this cluster sort of. They still have Harlorn as well. So I'm not too worried about them, but it is a consideration. Okay, so everyone has actually left Dunkriok. That's kind of what I wanted to have happen. But let's just make sure there's no other armies like right here. Okay, we'll go up here to Dunhold. We're sort of on a slope, and I'm going to see if we get attacked, which we probably will. The army here is not too scary. But I think what we'll do is this. We'll just set this up for the next episode. We'll get, you know, rams or whatever. But I imagine we're not going to be using them because probably we're going to be attacked by Dunland. And if we can hold that off, we will probably be in a position to take the city, which would be nice. Here in the north, more bad news. Reunited Kingdom is attacking Tharbad, and it looks like they're going to do fairly well. But they have a lot of ground to cover. And maybe they'll be sucked into a war with a Dunabar also. In any case, I think we'll end the episode here. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you'll stick around for the next one. Until then, take care.